So this one's going to be a little bit more off the script sort of deal, purely because after watching the movie, I realized that episode 9 really succinctly tied up the story that we were presented with. So yeah, this is going to be very spoiler filled. This is definitely going to be posted after the 19th. There'll be a spoiler tag, and keep the thumbnail as unspoilery as possible. I won't use any footage from episode 9 in this main video. It'll probably be in the shorts. But there's just a few things that I really want to talk about and everything. But we'll go from there. So some of the big things presented was this is the most deviated from the standard formula the show has ever been. I really think that the statement from Goose saying like you need to get through the series before you call yourself a fan really plays itself here, because this episode is a lot closer in relation to episode 1 in a sense, but it is just such a strong deviation. It is so character focused. It's more than 5, it's more than 7. It's like there is no action, there is no adventure. I mean, hell, spoiler inbound, in the first 5 minutes we get confirmed they're brain scans and they're not people. They're who they were is like going on living life in the real world. They're just scans of these former people. So they're stuck in the circus, no cane, just surrounded by the void. All the abstracted creatures are gone, and they're in just like this empty world. And it's very like hopeless and dull and really sad. And they're kind of like grappling with this. And the first thing that happens is Pomni plays her part perfectly, and she starts working with Kinger to, start conjuring a new world, a world for them to live in. And then within the first 15 minutes, boom, Jets abstracts. It's just like, oh my God, all of a sudden they're wandering around in an abstraction form. And it's just like, everyone's like, what the hell, dude? It was just really crazy to see, like, just like, oh man, how are we getting an hour out of this? And it's really because, we buckle down with the characters. It's like we get whole scenes of Gengal and Zubul just like talking, Ragatha and Pomni talking, Kinger and Pomni talking, just as a group connecting and being like, what are we gonna do? Like, we're stuck in here with memories of people who are already living lives, and we have our friend now just like ravenously at the lower levels that will, tear us apart if we go down there. So Pomni goes down there, does the Kinger strat, and gets Jax into a really dark room after shooting out all the lights, and then it's just apparently you can get inside an abstracted creature and you start mulling through their memories, like how they feel. And Jax is as deranged as you think. Like all the like fan theories or just like general regular assumption that you've gotten from Jax's character of how this person is, how they feel, and how they probably see the world. Yeah, you see that. You see big dilated eyes and strangling people. Even within Jax's own mind sphere, they sort of sexually harass Gengal at one point because they just see Gengal as this like authoritarian, like weeaboo, like freak. And I don't really see many people like mention that it was like Jax has this like weird perception of the world around themselves, that it's just like, oh wow, you're objectifying yourself and everyone around you in every possible way. And at least on Tumblr, I haven't seen people really like talking about that. They're just talking about the one main big thing, which has been a theory for a long time that does get confirmed, is that Jax is most likely a trans individual, probably somewhere trans femme, and Ribbit was the first one that, coaxed that out of Jax. And it isn't confirmed or anything, not in the series, just it's like Ribbit puts a bow on Jax and Jax blushes brightly after telling a story about Jax's abusive parents, how the father left and the mother desperately like wanted Jax to be like her child as well as a replacement for her now ex-husband. So she would abuse Jax by like, oh, if you act like your dad, you're a waste of a man, you're pathetic, that sort of like targeted language. But if Jax wasn't acting like their father, it was like, oh, well, you're being half the man that he is, you need to step up, a bunch of like targeted, gendered, very just like deeply manipulative language. And Jax technically came out to their mom, and it's kind of what caused Jax to run away, realizing that there was going to be no hope at home. So I'm probably going to be using they or she for Jax from here on out. It's never confirmed because, another spoiler, at the very end, we get to see their real life counterparts, and Jax is a little bit more happier in their life, but there is no like confirmed coming out. There is no blatant, this is a trans woman or this is a trans femme. It's it just gives you like the visual indicators of it happening, like longer hair, more feminine clothes, a more feminine presentation, which on ends it could align with trans femme, it could align with non-binary, it could align with just like gender non-conforming. So it isn't super blatant, but it's very, very much like on the nose sort of subtle storytelling. That sort of stuff that it's like, oh yeah, this is a queer character, but your racist Uncle Jerry probably won't catch it while watching it, which is really interesting considering Goose is a trans woman and how deeply connected to Jack she is. Probably an interesting story. On the topic of story beats, I was actually really surprised that we got a solid callback to Ribbit and Kaufmo. Like, we had a good, solid, maybe like 15, 20-ish minutes of backstory about Jax coming into the circus, meeting Ribbit and Kaufmo. Kaufmo, again, voiced by Aaron Hansen, and I didn't realize it was him until the credits. Like, that guy must have gotten voice training. But they really build up this, like, really close connection between Jax and Ribbit over time, over the course of these adventures. And that ice pitfall was basically after Jax did their thing and, glazed their eyes over and pretended like they didn't just tell Ribbit their whole life story, including their, like, trans abuse that happened. And it's just crazy because you think like the people that would hang around Jax would kind of be assholes, but no, it's like when Jax was with Ribbit and Kaufmo, yeah, they would poke jabs at each other. They were like buddies and whatnot. It'd be like, you little shit, but I love ya, sort of deal. And it just all fell downhill. Like, Ribbit abstracts because, like, I think the kind of like Pomni Jack situation was happening with Jax and Ribbit, where it was like, hey, we're stuck in here, but I like who you are, so maybe we could like a little bit like people do, sort of deal. And so once Ribbit goes, Jax just becomes a totally different person. You can tell that Kaufmo went off the deep end too, because as chill as Kaufmo tries to be, you can kind of see that it's like how quickly his sort of character could collapse under pressure. And it was just really sad to see because it was kind of like a fall from grace. Like, this was the circus group. Like, Jax was nice to a degree to people. He was a little bit, a little bit snarky and whatnot. But just seeing this like slow collapse and very realistic argument between Ribbit and Jax, where they're just tossing words at each other. And wow, it was really real, and it made it just really sad. This character that we'd never really seen, it was like, man, I can't believe that they're dead and that Jax, did that instead of just being open. And it's like, oh man, she should have just stayed open about it. And that was the big blind side of the character arcs, is that we actually get a pretty succinct character arc for Kaufmo and Ribbit in this very small slot, and it really just closes up the character loose ends, which was really surprising to see. Honestly, after watching it, it's one of those things where it's like, man, they should call it the Amazing Yuri Circus, am I right? There's just this whole scene where Pomni and Ragatha are like reaffirming that they're like best friends and like they wouldn't have got through this without each other. And they just, like, when you say goodbye to your friends, maybe during an emotional moment, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, I'll see you soon, buddy. Oh, and then you like turn around and walk away and be like, what a great friend. It's like, no, they're locking eyes for like a solid 2.5 minutes. It's like, girls, just kiss, like, please. Yeah, I mean, just everything that the characters were built up to this point was like connected and fulfilled. And it was very, a complete tie-in. I think it really is. It's going to be like, hey, this is the end of Kinger's character. This is the end of Ragatha's character. This is the end of Pomni's, Jax, Gangle, and Zubal's character. They're going to walk in strides and they're going to find out who they are. Because there's a lot of stuff that it just doesn't answer, but it still feels like it's a fully complete series. Like, we don't know exactly what the void is, but other than just being like, oh, it's empty computer space to be used. We don't know what the blue AI was, if it was Bubble or something else, but it was contributing to King's sort of like dissociative identity disorder, like dual identity disorder in this sense. And Alex Rochon got us again. Kane is definitely in this. He's still alive. He comes back. He connects to a cafe Wi-Fi and finds all the like cast members like social media, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna show them that they're like actually doing okay in the real world and everything's all right. And it reveals like their actual names. I don't remember them all off the top of my head, but it's like Abigail and like I think Kinger is Grant. A lot of stuff like that. But Kane comes back after removing the blue AI, which apparently helped him achieve his godhood, and kind of like leaves it off to the wind, and it returns a single personality. And the whole thing just sort of ends with Kane being like, hey, let me help you connect all the game worlds. Let me help you build a brighter tomorrow, and let us figure out this trapped existence together. It's like we completed Jax's character character art. We completed Pomni's, Kinger's, Kane's, just all of them. And even though we don't have like what was CNA doing this for, you can get into the abstracted creatures' minds and you can kind of still talk to them. There's that part of their mind that's still in there. So it makes us wonder, just like Kinger could have talked to his wife one more time, could have talked to Scratch again, but they just didn't know that, and now they're kind of like gone. What's going on in the outside world? What are all the reasons that all the members of the circus are in here? We don't get those answers, and we really don't need them. It's really not about any of that. It's about the characters in the circus. And I think that really recontextualizes a lot of the story beats of the Amazing Digital Circus, is because we were so like connected with what was outside the circus that we didn't really take this time to acknowledge that, yeah, everything happening in the circus right now is the story. So yeah, I mean, looking through, I really don't think this needs like a total retrospective, because it is that slow, gradual rise of like character development up to a peak, and then like a full collapse once it's come full circle to end the story. So, oh man, it's just one of those things where it's like there's so much to talk about, but it's hard to articulate, because from just A to B, it's like let's finish this up. So yeah, I mean, like, ultimately, watch it on Netflix, watch it on YouTube, watch it on your pirate site or whatever, buy the merch if you like it. It kind of goes really hard. The merch is really cool looking, but it's really slow and somber. And it really makes sense how the character arcs were slowly building up to be the precipice of what the show was. Because if you're watching like if you watch at episode 2 and you think this is what the show is going to be, nothing but adventures, you're going to be disappointed. Because it really is just like slowly ramping up from fun adventures to character development. And it really is a show that's just meant to be taken as character beats, even though it presents itself as, an adventure, a comedy, drama, or whatever. Overall, at the end though, this is an episode you will love or you will hate. There is no in between. Like, I got really, really lucky in my cinema experience. People were quiet, people were respectful, it wasn't super full. We walked out of there and we were like, wow, that's the end of the Amazing Digital Circus. Awesome. But I could definitely hear some people going like, they were the adventure types. They were expecting some big bombastic ending, but that's just not what Goose had. But we can look at it and be like, could it have been better? Yeah. Is there some things that could have been changed? Some different beats that we could have taken? Yeah. But you know what? It got made, it got done, and it's really good. And it was a global phenomenon. So yeah, wow. It's weird to think that this is the end of the Amazing Digital Circus. Wow. And let's just all say it, everyone. Confirmed in the credits, Abstragedy is canon. They were straight up schlurking it, schlonking it, zorping it, glorping it, gloinking it, 100% sloppy style at the end of that credit roll. That credit roll confirmed it. Ragatha heard it. It's canon. Everyone, get out your Yuri flags. We won.